Hey, Pugman, welcome to the stream. Okay, seems like we're all kind of back. We're all kind of situated here. Sorry that I missed last week. I was busy, and my dad took another week off. He's trying to use up as much of that PTO as possible. Get it out of the, because it doesn't carry over to the year, so he's like trying to utilize it. And so that combined with me being busy with reviews, and then similar to last time, almost exactly like the last time. Not a whole lot to talk about until the ending of the week, where enough things started to pile on that I'm like, okay, now I have a show. Now I have something to talk about. So now we're this week going back at it with a live show, and hopefully with some topics to slice and dice, and hopefully splice out into their own separate videos. That guy 3245 underrated. What do you mean underrated? That guy. What do you mean? Nate likes comments. We lit and we live. What's the news today? Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I've been banking them over the week because last week I think there was only like one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I was like, I only got one thing. Doesn't really make up for an entirety of a show. Plus, I'm busy editing some other stuff that I'm trying to like build kind of with these like self-imposed deadlines that I'm trying to meet. And my dad was home, and between my parents, my dad is the one that doesn't care about what I do here. So, live streaming or any kind of content creation is just kind of out the window in that respect. So that's why I figured, you know what, I'm gonna skip this week. But a lot of the stuff that kind of came to fruition and got announced, which is frankly very McFarlane heavy this week, which will probably not rub so many people all that well, considering that my last published video got quite a bit of a reaction, which was in fact the YouTube poop style supercut of that Marvel Legends stream. That's probably the first thing that I kind of sort of wanted to tackle on today's stream, but in a somewhat more nonchalant sort of way, where I was like, okay, let's talk about this Marvel Legends video that I did. Let me actually see if I could pull it up as its own separate watch page here. Yeah, because I think it was a few days ago, I watched that recent Marvel Legends pulse stream, fan stream, whatever it is that they call it. Because I know they did one, but I missed it. It was like almost, it was happening almost exactly when I was waking up, and I was like, you know what, I'll just watch it after the fact. Let me finish watching some other video that I was in the process of watching for the past couple of mornings, make and eat my breakfast peacefully, and then probably get irritated with the fan stream. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, bro, there's like so many weird moments that I need to cut them out, and I need to splice them together and put them together in a way where I'm like, am I the only one that's seen this? And so I made the video, didn't really think too much of it as far as how it was gonna do, and I was more or less kind of right. Like, it didn't blow up necessarily, but I'm still kind of happy with it. It was a very quick thing. Here's what I'll say, is that it's been a really long time since I was making, very stupidly, making myself laugh editing a video. Like, I'm editing it and then playing back certain portions, and I was making myself laugh. And I was just the fact that I'm like, when was the last time something that I'm editing, I'm right here watching and creating it, and yet I'm making myself laugh of it? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm that's what kind of told in my gut a little bit. Like, I need to make this. Like, I don't care if it like does bad in the algorithm. I don't care if, sure enough, like as I predicted, people who are gonna get tickled a little bit are gonna come out of the woodwork and go crazy in the comments. One of which is a very prominent YouTuber that I actually do kind of like as far as his approach to the content, but I noticed that whenever I take shots at Marvel Legends, this guy kind of shows up, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. Because it's less about him and more about the people who are fans of him as well. And sure enough, I'm looking through my comments and going, let me guess who has the most replies to his comment, and it's that guy. I'm like, of course it is. I'm like, every time I take pot shots at Marvel Legends, I notice a certain someone shows up. But in any other of my own, other videos, nothing. They may still be watching, but I find it interesting. That video was actually hilarious. I'm so hyped for that Unlimited Spider-Man. Not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the series. I mean, it's just that how I think it was Ryan, the one that was like holding it, how he was saying intricate sculpt and detail, and I'm like, it's the same body that we've seen time and time again, the same Vulcan body. I will admit that I do like the matte finish to the color, and I like that the hues that they utilized. But two things: one, it's a Vulcan body that we've seen before, and two, possible hot take, not a fan of Spider-Man Unlimited. I've tried watching a number of a number of episodes of Spider-Man Unlimited. I can't vibe with the whole future where you have all these anthropomorphic animals and Spidey's the only human there, but he keeps himself masked to make it seem like he's also an animal. I just didn't get it. I tried watching it a number of times, both when I was younger and as an adult, and I'm like, I still can't vibe. Even as an adult, I can't vibe with it. Points for trying on a brand new concept, but I just cannot do Spider-Man Unlimited. So that's already kind of creating a rift that's keeping me from probably picking that figure up when pre-orders go live. Those laughing moments, yeah, like when you play it back and you're like, I'm proud of this. Like, I don't care if it didn't blow up, I don't care if it didn't go viral, whatever. I'm proud of the video. It's staying up. Some of the biggest toy tubers. Oh, I never heard that term. Toy tubers are easily triggered. Yeah, like with each, I'm not going to say passing day, but I want to say month to month. And unless I'm wrong, which I could be, but unless I'm wrong, I feel like I'm seeing more gatekeeping. I don't want to go to the term of toxicity just yet. I don't think I'm going to fully say toxicity. But there's definitely quite a bit of gatekeeping and very aggressive reaction, or very reactionary, very knee-jerk reactions. That's what I was looking for. Very knee-jerky reactions when someone has a certain take within the toy community on YouTube more than Reddit, which I find very ironic. On Reddit, because I'm part of the McFarlane Toys subreddit and even the Marvel Legends subreddit, and most of the time it's just people kind of asking each other, like, help with certain QC problems or where to find a certain figure, and then just simple toy photography. I don't really see too much of like this, like, why are we, you know what I mean? Unless it's being deleted by mods, being purged by mods. I don't know. But on YouTube is where you go to the comment section and it's just a bunch of people just like, oh, this gets repainted. Oh, this gets repainted. And I knew that was coming when I posted that Marvel Legends. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. Spider-Man Unlimited is only for a certain taste, especially my taste with me liking underrated Spidey shows like Unlimited and what's TNAS? Which I'm trying to continue myself. But, and I know that this is probably, I know some people are probably going to consider this kind of an overrated show. Oh, TNAS, the new animated series, which is the one that's kind of loosely based on the Tobey Maguire trilogy, because it even uses like the same font and it's got the cel-shading 3D animation that I'll say this. Don't love that show. I've watched it because I think it only has like one season. Watched it. Very indifferent to it, but I'll gladly rewatch that than even Spider-Man Unlimited. Like, I get bored with Spider-Man Unlimited. With the new animated series, there's enough of that very funky, tubular kind of approach, that very 2000s aesthetic that I'm like, it's almost kind of circles back to being kind of novel. Whereas Spider-Man Unlimited, like I said, I just get bored. I don't know why. Are you a fan of any of the McFarlane Spawn figures? Kinda. Like, ever so often, there's one where I'm like, I look at it and I look at the sculpt and the detail and the very gargantuan capes and whatnot, and I'm like, this goes on clearance. I think I actually do have a Spawn, the Spawn one from Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's in storage. I might have to check. And then I know that on the site, the McFarlane Toy Store site, they have the Batman Spawn 2-pack as a reward to use your rewards points on. And ever so often, I get close to the 300 points, and I'm like, should I finally get it? Should I finally get it? But just when I get tempted to want to get it, new pre-order is around the corner, and I'm like, I'd rather redeem it for like a $20 code so I can get $20 off that pre-order, whether it be a bundle, a set, or whatever the case may be. There's so much gatekeeping in the ToyTuber community, more than I've seen in other YouTube communities, and I've been YouTube for 15 years in a more serious corner of YouTube. Yeah, like, I don't know what's going on. Also, Unlimited and Cliffhanger, at least they had an actual end. At least 10S had an actual ending, had a cool style. Gunslinger Spawn. Yeah, I saw some of those images. It does look pretty cool. But yeah, like that reaction, like I said, let me see if I can pull up the video. View on YouTube. We'll do a little bit of a quick reaction. I mean, after all, it's just a 4-minute video, right? Just waiting for this ad to skip. All right, here we go. All right, let me see here. I personally like the Spider-Man Unlimited series, but I understand it's a drastic departure from any other show. Yeah, maybe it's just because of how different it is that maybe I couldn't vibe with it. Ooh, almost on the wrong tab. Tee. Alright. Here's the video that I made. Gonna watch it really quick here. Because the first go-to, there was already a couple, like 2 or 3 moments that I was like, this is really weird. Why are they acting like that? But I never conceived the notion of wanting to make a supercut video until the snippet where he's covering the 77 live action Spider-Man that they're doing, that's based on that show where he throws the ropes, he shoots ropes. Euphemism. But when he says you've seen this body before, that's where I'm like, something in my brain just clicked that made me go, okay, I need to do a cut of this. I'm sorry, I gotta download the stream, watch it at 1.5 speed. And any moment that stands out to me, apart from the you've seen this body before, but apart from that, any other moment that I'm like, this has to be memed, cut it out, compile it together, and make it into this video. Hopefully it's not too long. And it ended up being just 4 minutes. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. 4 minutes is fine. Hold on. Can you hear it? You cannot hear it. My desktop audio is muted. But let me make sure.
Seen this body before, and under the right light, this could be orange. So I kind of could almost have a. I was, you know.
I'm surprised that nobody mentioned the audio.
Following them right now, so I'll just put that over here. You've seen this body.
That first joke, I mean, was an inside joke to like a sports team. I think it's a hockey team, but his reaction of him just going, I'm like, I need a close in on that. I need to. Yeah, I'm surprised that there were no comments about the audio, but that's actually not me. That was them. I don't know what was going on, but as I'm watching the stream on YouTube, they screwed up their own audio. God, you're Hasbro. You can't afford some decent lapel mics?
I'll just put that over here. You've seen this body before.
We have the most requested segment every year.
The sarcasm.
Annual year-end draft recap.
It's like so much passive aggressiveness.
You shouldn't do that to people. Shouldn't.
I try to learn from
Forced humor.
You've seen this body before. Hey, why not?
Why
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
And we know that Spider-Boy doesn't really flip or shoot out webs like a normal Spider-Man, but the way we are reimagining it is he's giving...
Here's the thing, though, because I saw somebody in the comments saying, well, he doesn't shoot webs, but they included the web shooting hands anyway. I'm not saying that they should have replaced those hands. If anything, they should have added. I'm sorry, but again, for the price point, $25, there's no web accessories. Yeah, you got the alternate head. Nobody asked for the web shooting hands, so you either could have swapped this out for the wall crawling that he's got on the card, or added the wall crawling. We've had that print before. All you're doing is just changing the paint. So what's stopping you? I can't imagine it being all that crazy as far as pricing. I really can't. Especially since, like I said, you're cutting out the webs. You have the backpack, sure, but I don't know. I'm talking to a wall at this point. Like I said, nothing can really happen until maybe I am able to transform into an actual fly, go inside that meeting room. Something fell. Boardroom during their meetings and see what it's all about.
An homage to Spider-Man himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this figure has a lot of great sculpted detail on the arms, the chest, torso there.
We always need new Spider-Man. You've seen this body before. Kane is all new figure. Lots of weird bluish webbing across his entire body.
So that moment where he's going, I told myself as I'm watching the stream in real time, when, you know, before the fact, I told myself, I'm only gonna make fun of his once because I suffer from a stutter, and he's probably nervous. Like this is probably one of the few moments where taking all the Hasbro stuff and the Marvel Legends stuff and the figure stuff out of the equation, I'm like, guys trying to put on as much personality on screen as possible without a script. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go a little easy. I'm only gonna make fun of him once. Because there were other moments where he kept going, that moment where he's talking about this Kane figure is the moment where he had the most ums next to each other in a saturated point that I'm like, okay, this is the moment where I'm going to, you know, make those like punch-ins with the camera, with the cropping, and blow up the audio when he goes, and distort it. But that's it. It's just this moment. There were other moments where he was doing a lot of uhs and ums, but I'm like, I'm not going to make fun of him too much because, like I said, I suffer from a stutter, from a speaking impediment that I rely heavily on editing to fix, like I almost did right there. So I was like, all right, I'll go easy on you. But then you have this weird, there was this really empty moment of dead air that I'm like, I'm going to stretch this. God damn it.
This body before.
There are more Savage Land characters coming out.
We're gonna draw. Okay.
And ever so often this happens.
The gift of information.
Where one of them really wants to talk, but then the other one's like, shut up.
Guy from, I can't even think of his name. Oh, I'm not supposed to spitball here. Sorry.
And then Ryan trying to damage control.
2025.
You've seen this body before.
Any guesses? There's only two options.
Are there though?
And there's Dwight again.
Well, let's take a look.
Shut the fuck
Shout
up.
out to all the fans who tag me every single day requesting for...
And I think someone a couple weeks ago was asking me what I have against Dan. There you go. He's the one that's like the most sarcastic and passive aggressive out of the three. The other two I feel like are trying. Dan, I always feel like he loves his job, but he doesn't like the people within his job, which kind of reminds me a little bit of me, ironically, back during my retail days at Best Buy, where I wholeheartedly do love talking about games and talking about computers and about technology and cameras and things like that, but I don't like people. And 9 times out of 10, the people that come in are not exactly going to be sharing the same kind of devout passion towards tech. They just want the thing so they can get out. And that's where, like I said, the old adage of like, don't work in a place that you love or with the things that you love. Like if you love video games, unless you truly do love the process of game development, don't be a game developer. If you just love playing video games, maybe become a content creator and do reviews for them, but just also know that you are straddling the line of hating the thing that you love.
This figure and
I feel like eventually that may have happened to Dan
this team
here.
every single day.
stop asking for this, they have a list, and they'll just move down to the
Trust
next
me,
one.
I know.
There you
the
go.
list. I know the list. Don't worry.
Look at that.
All right, so Amazon exclusive.
You've seen this body before.
Fact check on this. Fact check us on that.
While in meetings with you guys, right? I go off.
I just thought that these were random moments that needed to be clipped in
He's
there.
not even writing English letters anymore. He's just making marks.
I
He
use
said
that
just
mask every
strange
time.
moments.
Dwight makes fun of me, and I just channel my anger towards that mask now. It's awesome. It's great. I love it.
Feels good.
It's good.
Yeah, see,
Thank you for staying
it's
with
like, what
us.
was that?
Some of you really enjoyed the draft, and some of you are just fans of it, you know, casually. But now is time to kind of
Salivating at the mouth
Yeah.
for what
Let's
comes
go.
next. You've seen this.
Even Dwight doing a little bit of Danisms there. Why were they acting so weird? I don't know. Maybe it's because they're just about to go into Christmas vacation, just trying to get that out there. That Spider-Boy figure. I mean, I do like the colors on Spider-Boy. I just don't have that great of an affinity with the character that I'm like, I don't. And again, like I said, the value proposition. I was wondering what the audio was distorted. Oh, okay. Then yeah, I mean it's them because it starts off rather nicely and then it gets kind of echoey. And I was watching the stream in my car, so I was like, okay, you know, it's not my hardware here. It's not because I was in my car. I was on my phone. You know, I paired it with the Bluetooth speakers in the car, and I'm like, why does the audio sound like that? And then I came home, played that last half, and it sounded exactly the same. I'm like, no, that's them. That's them. I don't know what they were doing. I think it went well with the video. Recently, I got the entire DVD box except for Batman Beyond, all episodes and seasons. Can't wait for it. I think I still have that back there, buried. Gonna have to dig it up. Holy shit! I almost did an oopsie. Showed off the YouTube stuff. All right, here we go. Finish this off.
This body before.
This is going to be
Again, need of a
X-Men
script.
themed wave, as you might. We've always got to show Wolverine some love, and this version is
Extreme.
extreme.
Again, another memorable moment of them saying extreme, being kind of cringy.
Extreme.
Extreme. Perfect for shooting Build-A-Figures.
Wow, but that's interesting comment.
I'm an interesting guy.
Yeah, I'm an interesting guy. Yeah, we're about to find out. Also, it's at this point in the video where I knew that I needed to pull back from the you've seen this body before. I wanted to go crazy with it at the beginning for sure, but even me watching this video by probably another creator, I would have said at this point, okay, stop with the you've seen this body before clip, but bring it back in at the end, pace it out. And that's why towards this last like third of the video, you don't really hear it until the very, very end, because I was like, okay, I don't want to get people too sick of it. You know, make it funny at the beginning because of the running meme and the running criticism that I make about feeling like I'm pulling the same figure out of the box every single time. But towards the last half, I'm like, okay, ease off, rely on the other cuts. But then one last time for old time's sake.
Wouldn't you be mad if the ship's power involves you ripping your own bones out? These are the things that I ponder, you know? I mean, I'm an interesting guy. I don't sleep well these days. I get a lot of stuff in my brain, you know? Thinking about this poor woman ripping bones out of her body. I'm an interesting guy.
Dwight's an interesting guy, all right. Now, I will admit, there is still jokes aside, we should definitely look into that comment. I don't sleep well these days. There's no proof, but there's also no way to doubt or deny that any of that stress that's keeping him up at night is correlated with working at Marvel Legends. There's no proof, but there's also there's nothing to deny it either. Nothing to strike it down. It's just up in the air kind of things. Pure speculation, but I'm like, maybe it's time, you know, as he mentioned even in the stream, it's not in this cut, but in the stream, I remember he did say that he's been in this game for long, that I'm like, I wonder, especially with the conversation we had a couple weeks ago with the whole licensing stuff, like, is it time to bring in a new guard? A guard that maybe has a little bit of content creation experience so that they know how to talk in front of these streams, even with no script. I don't know. Just spitballing here.
Hopefully you guys saw something you liked. If not, then just tune into the next stream, and we hope to, make all your
Yeah,
wish lists come true.
You think there's
You started thinking about it there.
that there was nothing here?
I'm sure, and we'll hear about it.
We'll
But
hear
we
about
love
it.
the feedback, right? And so we can continue doing those types of items that seem to work pretty well.
And he
A couple more
vocalized
awesome
it.
ones in the hopper.
That's right. We're gonna go right back to work.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what the hopper means. Poetic.
You've seen this body before.
Last time. Alright, shut up. Yeah, there it is. So I was pretty proud of that supercut, to be honest. Like I said, I don't care if it didn't blow up, if it didn't do any crazy numbers or anything like that. I made myself laugh simply by just watching that. And that's good enough for me. Part of me doesn't mind what they did with the 70s Spider-Man, because I do like that they're checking that box, because it was one of the more missing Spidey, especially after they tackled the Japanese Spider-Man, the Spooderman. I can't remember what it's called, but you know which one I'm talking about. So this is kind of like a derivative of that, but at the same time, like, you can at least maybe etch in the webs on the body just a little better or a little bit more refined. I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, so we talked about the reaction. That's definitely one of the first things that I wanted to tackle, is the reaction to that video. Because like I said, going back to, actually, damn it, I don't know why I closed it, because I did want to look at some of the comments. Yes, we'll be tackling the comments. Oh, let me mute the desktop, just desktop audio just in case. All right. Yeah, because when you go to the comments, obviously you're going to have some, like I said, you have some that are more replied to than others. Some people that I never really hear from until I take shots at Marvel Legends. But I do appreciate, well, this is the most liked comment, obviously, you know, from this creator here. It's funny because the content is objectively good, but I do know that there's a little bit of a, hey, there's biases everywhere. You can argue that there's a bias on my channel. There's definitely a bias on his channel. It is what it is. But I do like that the second most liked comment is this one where he says, you've seen this body before. So I do like that. At least they're not as bad as Todd's interviews, thankfully. Okay, this comment right here. At least they're not as bad as Todd's interviews, thankfully. But at least he does interviews. Remember how the last interview went with these three? Or the last couple of interviews from these three? How'd they go? Exactly. Shardamus. I think his name is Ibuga, if I remember correctly. Okay, I'm blanking on his name, but I remember he was the one that was also trying to ask some questions, and these three guys couldn't even answer. The publicist came in saying, hey, you can't do it. Like, I'm like, yo. Even if McFarlane denies something, at least it's McFarlane himself doing it. I'm sorry, but I always get this weird, bad feeling when the publicist talks first before the person that I'm actually talking to directly. It's okay if the publicist screens the questions, but for them to be present, I don't know what it is, but it's just, I understand that that's their job, but it just always rubbed me the wrong way. And I believe, yeah, and it's possible that maybe Boogo, I think it was his name, was asking a question that was not on the list, which is rather bold of him because that could potentially get him blacklisted. But I'm just talking about like the ratio of it happening with these three on their interviews, which also, if I remember correctly, most of their interviews only at cons that they attend, only if they're there. McFarlane at least says, oh, I have Thursday at 11 a.m. You're free? You're free? All right, cool. Zoom, Google Meet. Turn it on. At least we got that. He may not like what he says or how he says it, but he's doing it. He's saying something. That's why. And I know, like, people trying to get a rise. Nice thumbnail. It got me to click on the video. All right. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty much the gist of where I stand on Marvel Legends right now. The only one, to play completely devil's advocate, the only one that I look at and I go, maybe is Agent Venom. Because it does look kind of slick. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Agent Venom. Maybe. It's a very bold, stocky, italicized quotations, maybe. Agent Venom. Maybe. We see that. Oh, hey, Rashad, welcome to the stream. Love the video. Yeah, I made a 40-minute video disliking McFarlane. Like, which, hey, if you want to do that, go ahead. I don't make money off of McFarlane. I don't get free stuff. Because I've been hearing that some content creators have been getting free stuff from McFarlane. And I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to get any free stuff from McFarlane. Because I've been critical of them too. I'm going to be critical of them on this stream. One of the first main topics is actually something that's kind of critical. So I don't even get free stuff. Whenever I cover McFarlane figures, I'm buying them. Which it's funny because it's a very lose-lose situation. That's how, like I said, somewhat toxic and gatekeepy the toy community, either from Marvel Legends or McFarlane, has gone these days. If I get free stuff from McFarlane, I'm more than likely going to be called a shill, which at this point, I have not gotten anything free from McFarlane at all. Nothing. Not even a freebie whenever I order like 4 or 5 figures and they toss one in there. Still haven't gotten one of those like freebies in my boxes at all. So to this day, still have not received any free like sample boxes or whatever like some other content creators have been doing recently. So you can't lean on that. But if I were to get something for free, even with a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, if I were to say, oh, hey, I got this box free from McFarlane, they will call me a shill. If I pay money, I'm called an idiot because they're like, oh, well, why do you keep giving them your money? Why do you keep giving Marvel Legends your money? Like I said, this can go both ways. So how about we just enjoy the figures, huh? Or talk about the figures, put our thoughts out there, observe the opinions, be okay with disagreeing, but just respecting that we have different opinions. That's fine. The humor is very similar. Yeah, like I've seen 1 or 2 of his videos, but I gotta check out the rest of his stuff. Because I remember legitimately liking also the unique intros. I think he did one on Mayfix, the Pattinson Batman from Mayfix, and he went all out with like the intro with like cutting to clips of the movie, but also making it seem like he's walking. And I'm like, that's sick. I just don't have the time for that because I want to keep things within like the light box, tackling the figure head on. But I was like, yo, this guy created a whole skit for the opening of that video. Respect. Now, before I start tackling the actual topics, especially like I said, the ones that are going to be a little bit on the scrutiny angle with McFarlane, because like I said, even with McFarlane cannot escape from my criticisms. I do, however, have a little bit of an unboxing to do. So let me get out the folding knife here. I like McFarlane action figures. I think the Warhammer line is fantastic. Especially after playing Space Marine 2 recently, I've been going back and looking at their Space Marine figures because I'm like, do I want one? Still haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm like, do I want a Titus at least? Or just a generic Space Marine? Still haven't decided. But they have completely driven me away from collecting their DC Multiverse figures. Why is that, Geek Fusion? I'm curious. Like, what's the specific thing? Is it the scale? Most of the time when I hear that, it ends up being the scale for most people, which I kind of get. You know, the 6 has been like the default for so long that when McFarlane entered the DC Multiverse game in 2020 and started doing the 7-inch, people were like, what are you doing? I've learned to, yeah, quite honestly, I learned to love it. Ghouls and Goblins, welcome to the stream. All right, let me get this unboxing done real quick. And it's from none other. Let me bring up OBS here to make sure that I can see that it's on screen. McFarlane Toys. Of course, our people of the hour. McFarlane Toys. It's funny because what you see right there is, spoilers, it is one of the figures in here, but it's not all that's in here, unless they done goofed. Which I don't think so, because it looks like it's been retaped. So I think they maybe used a box just to put what needs to be in there for the time being when it was shipped. I was like this, right? Okay. I'm making sure because there is one side over here that has an address, but I don't believe it was shown. So just to be on the safe side, I've moved this over here. Take off my headset for the time being. It's getting a little stuffy. Also trying to make sure that I don't damage anything that's inside and damage myself. I think I did it. Did that Spider Boy figure not come out yet? No, I don't think even pre-orders went live yet. I think as far as everything that they showed in that stream, the only thing that is gonna go up for pre-order in the foreseeable future is that lizard. That No Way Home lizard, and that's going to be an Amazon exclusive, so good luck with that. I don't even know if I'm going to get it, to be quite honest. Everything else is like early 2025, so. I love my phone viewers. I have 14 going on 16 in a few days. I just ordered the Earth 2 Robin and the Green Lantern Batman. The Green Lantern, where did you order those figures? Because I know Green Lantern Batman, I think it was on clearance at Best Buy a little while ago for like $8. And I saw that, I was like, maybe I'll get it. And as soon as I scrolled down, sold out. I was like, all right, yeah, obviously. $8 for the Green Lantern Collector's Edition Batman? That was a bit of a peg warmer, but for $8? Hell yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of people thought that the same thing as well. Poor QC on too many figs I've picked up, never giving a definitive version of a character, especially Superman. I will admit that they really could do better with Superman. McFarlane. I'm like, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but even I can agree. I'm like, where's the definitive comic Superman? Because even this recent one that was a gold label Walmart exclusive, it's got problems. So, and it feels antiquated. Until after 15 other versions of a character, along with the Jokerized and the Frostbite stuff, definitely has to be pulled back a little bit, reined in. And even then, it'll be a gold label edition, so most people will never get it. But scale is a factor as well, since it doesn't go with the rest of my collection of DC figs. What other brands do you have in your collection besides McFarlane? Okay. Smells weird. Damn, I was trying to buy it right now, but couldn't find it online. Yeah, it's gone. Green Lantern Batman, Amazon 23. Amazon 23. Oh, Amazon $23 and Earth 2 Robin 25 eBay. Interesting. Okay, so this is what came in this box. Obviously, per the side of the box. Again, let me switch over to OBS so I can see it real time that it's there. That's the Vampire Batman Nightmare Edition. So basically it's like black and gold. Gold label. McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. What is it? Authenticated limited edition to 5,250 pieces. I gotta be honest, that's still... That doesn't sound so limited, but at least it's got a nice box. This will likely be a short, to be quite honest, though, because it is, after all, the original Vampire Batman, as you see right there with the cool artwork. The only difference is like he's all black with like gold accents. So if anything, I'll probably just pull out the original, compare the two in a very cell phone filmed short video. Because I don't think it really merits an entire review. But it is a very nice looking box, very shiny, although most of that shine is coming from the cellophane. But at the same time, I really do like that it's got like this marbleized kind of look to the pattern on the front of the box, so that's nice. Cool. So yeah, Batman vs. Vampires, the Vampire Batman Nightmare Edition, which has already been out for a while, but this was included in this set that was also being discounted on the McFarlane Toy Store site, and on top of that, I used a $20 certificate, so I got even further of a discount, and I'm like, I gotta get this set and wait on this set before I even bother to hunt for these other figures in the store or whatever. So, if you couldn't already tell, that set comes with the Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat Hound, complete with Doggo. Granted, I can already tell, speaking of repaints and reuses, it's the Nightfall Buck again. Ugh. Which is not a bad buck, but just like I said, the saturation levels we're reaching with the use of this guy. Like, McFarlane, we gotta tone it down. I do like that he comes with Doggo, though. And it does look a little better in person, the Silver Age Batman. But I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be a very quick review. Considering that this is going to be a full review, but also kind of a quick review. Because I'm like, it's the Nightfall Buck, cape I've seen before, the hands we've seen before, the Batarang we've seen before. I'm like, yeah. If anything, the bulk of the review is going to be spent on Bat Hound. So, let me set that there. If you couldn't already tell, though, this is part of the set that's also going to be including those two other figures that went up for pre-order around the same time. And one of which is going to be the Batman Beyond, they call it the Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic. Right there. With some slightly cooler wings. Oh, that's interesting. So, body-wise, it looks pretty much the same as far as the sculpting from the original Batman Beyond, except it does look like they added an extra layer to the chest piece. Head is a little bit different. I gotta be honest, I think maybe I like the head a little bit better. But this time, he does not come with separate batarangs. One of the batarangs is actually sculpted into one of the hands. Kind of reminds me of what Mezco did with that one Pattinson Batman, where they just sculpted the Batarang into the hand itself. That way you don't bother. I guess, you know, the upside is that you won't lose it, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to be able to like switch the Batarangs around. So okay, but yeah, You have that there. So that review is going to be less of a review and more of a comparison to the original Batman Beyond. And then the last figure out of this set, you guessed it, Batman Noel. Which I was kind of hyped for until I looked a little closer at the photos when the pre-orders went live. And I'm like, it is the Lee Bermejo Batman that came out with the Page Puncher a little while back. It's great buck. I really like the sculpting of the armor. But it just looks like they went for a much lighter color scheme. He's got goggles and the Batarang, but apart from, and of course the wired cape. But besides that, it looks pretty similar to that other figure. So if you couldn't already tell, there's these last two, this and the Batman Beyond. I'm going to review them, obviously, but they're going to probably lean more towards being comparisons because of the fact that we've seen these bodies before. And then Nightfall Buck, we've seen that figure so many times that I'm not going to be unrealistic and just pull out every single Nightfall Buck that I have. It's like, all right, I'm just going to tackle the figures head on, show off Doggo as much as possible, and that's really about it. So these are going to be quick reviews, but they still are worthy of being reviews. The only one that I look at and go, okay, that's a short, is the Vampire Batman Nightmare Edition, the gold label. And I'll be reviewing these this weekend, because I do have free time this weekend. So there it is. So one more time, there's the Batman Beyond. For those of you who missed it. Silver Age Batman, which is pretty weighty in the box because of Doggo. Although, a little bummed to see that Doggo doesn't look articulated. Kind of a bummer on that. Oh. And then the Nightmare Bat. Fucking stick it back in there. Okay. Okay, that's it for the unboxing. There was one other figure that I also wanted to unbox on camera, but it actually ended up getting delayed. I want to say on accident, but not really. It wasn't an accident. I just wanted to not have it be shipped here because I didn't, I don't know why, but I just shipped it to my girlfriend's place. And if it's small enough, which this wasn't, but if it's small enough, which it was, it gets sent to their mailbox up front because they live in like a mobile home kind of area. And when it gets sent to that mailbox, unlike my parents, my girlfriend's parents, they check the mailbox like every 2 or 3 days. They kind of bank their mail, which is probably not the brightest thing to do in case something is very imperative that got sent to them. And because of that, it got delivered, I think, on Monday, but here we are 2 days later, and my girlfriend still hasn't told me that there's something waiting for me. I don't really want to bug her because right now she's taking care of stuff that's much more urgent. But it's in that mailbox, so I have to kind of like pest them a little bit to be like, hey, have you guys gone to the mail? Have you guys gone to the mail? And my girlfriend's awesome with this, but her parents are very like in a bit, and only when they want to, you know. Cuando se les conviene. You know. So, just have to wait on that. Daniel Montero, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I didn't see your comments earlier. Like I said, I was unboxing. If I see that Superman 1978 McFarlane Toys figure in person, I may snag it. Yeah, that shit sold out quickly. So if you do see it in person, buy it. A6 Figure Arts Wonder Woman. Did they announce that? I never got my Superman 78 Superman for GameStop. They straight up canceled because of high demand. Did they? Didn't I have a pre-order? Oh, okay. I did. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I had it pre-ordered, but I canceled because recently I learned, even if other people knew, I barely learned this. Amazon, it's funny because, I'm sorry, not Amazon, GameStop. For a while, I thought GameStop was one of the ones where you can pre-order stuff and it won't charge you until it ships. Technically not true. They charge you like a week, maybe 2 weeks before it ships. So I won't charge you at pre-order if it's like months in advance, but when the 2 week mark or 2 week window, you enter like the 2 week window before something is set to release, they try charging you. And the reason for why I know this is because they charged me for when I ordered the BVS set that also was pre-ordered with the Christopher Reeve Superman. So I bought basically I pre-ordered the Nightmare Batman, Armored Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Doomsday Superman 2-pack from the BVS wave, and the Christopher Reeve 78 Superman all in one order so I can save on shipping and just kind of compile them. And when I pre-ordered, they didn't charge me. But then one night, a few weeks ago, I got the notification from my bank saying, hey, you just got charged, what is it, $184. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I checked the details, and it's GameStop. And then finally that made me go, oh my God, I know what it is. And I go into my orders here, and it's this order because the BVS wave, not Reeve, not the Christopher Reeve, but the BVS wave was apparently coming up in like a week. And so they charged me. And I'm like, but I have an order from McFarlane Toy Stores themselves, and I'm seeing people posting photos of their orders shipping from McFarlane Toys. I'm probably, right around the corner of getting mine shipped. So I canceled, and thankfully the next day I got my money back. But I was like, okay, so you guys charge a week or two in advance. I thought it was going to be like right when you have it in like the warehouse, kind of BBTS style, but no. Or even Amazon. Even Amazon, I think, is a little nicer with this, where they try charging you when it's like, oh, we got it, so give us the money and then we'll put it on the truck. And that's not what they were doing. Yes, yes, Daniel, I speak Spanish. Mexican. Oh, and speaking of the 78 Superman, I think it's been delayed a couple of times. They just kept saying December, but they never... GameStop's the only one that would kind of foolishly put a date. But I don't think McFarlane themselves ever said specifically, oh, it's on this date, on this, on that. No, they've always said December, but they never said when in December. So, to be honest, I would never really trust GameStop. I would just go by Windows, if that makes any kind of sense. So, if they say December, there's a good chance of December. But just know that there's a possibility that it could get pushed. I believe this set that I just unboxed, at one point they kept saying November. And that got pushed. So... Polish Tank, welcome to the stream. Polish Tank, is that... You must be Polish. Do McFarlane's and even other companies' figures, do they reach like last over there in Europe? Because I can tell you right now, America's not even first either. It's, I want to say it's Asia. Because I noticed that whenever McFarlane has like a wave brewing or whatever, like people that live in China already got some in hand. And I'm like, how the hell does that happen? Here in Poland, we get them about a month after they hit the States. Damn. Well, a month is not terrible, though, to be quite honest. I was expecting worse. I've been spying on the internet for any early reviews of the regular. Yeah, like I'm trying to see if like people who live in Asia and do YouTube reviews, if they posted their reviews. Because as soon as they start posting stuff, then that means that the States is right around the corner. I want to start the next topic, or the first topic, technically. Because we just did the unboxing, but I haven't even tackled the topics yet. But here's the thing. Oh, actually, I guess I could tackle this first one. This one is actually kind of quick. And it just broke, actually. Like a few... how long ago? 7 hours ago, so this morning. McFarlane... blow this up a little bit. Is going to be doing the first ever McFarlane Toys Show. December 18th, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on YouTube. And so here's the graphic. Someone says there had better be feet. Okay. So yeah, apparently the McFarlane Toys Show, I'm guessing it's meant to be, it's probably going to, honestly, it's possible that maybe this is their first ever show to rival that of the Marvel Pulse, the Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse fan streams. Maybe in that nature. This could be maybe finally that official thing instead of Todd just doing a random town hall meeting or a random Q&A or anything like that. Something that's actually kind of like how PlayStation has their State of Plays, Xbox has their Xbox ID shows, I think they're called, or whatever, that are not beholden to the Game Awards, which are actually tomorrow, or beholden to Summer Games Fest, or back when it used to happen, E3, or any other kind of like Gamescom, stuff like that. So I'm wondering if this is McFarlane Toys' answer to that. And above these little like details, because this is all they said initially, right? But then they quote tweeted it by also saying, get ready for an epic holiday celebration with McFarlane Toys insiders AJ and Claudio. So Todd is not guaranteed to be there. He could still show up, but I do understand that they omitted his name or any kind of mentioning of him here in the chance that maybe he's just going to be too busy to be able to attend this thing. And so they're like, okay, we're not going to say that he's going to appear, but maybe it's possible he might show up as a guest appearance or whatever in the latter half if he has time. Maybe he'll call in. Maybe that's the way that they're kind of viewing this. So holiday, as they bring you early holiday treats, exclusive reveals, pre-orders, maybe something that got revealed already, but maybe the pre-order will finally go live tomorrow. The 18th, which I think will include like some of those Cowls that were announced a few days or a couple weeks ago, which I will tackle on a separate topic. Special promos, contests, live Q&A. Don't miss out. It's your chance to unwrap all the holiday surprises with us. So obviously the main thing to take away is pre-orders and exclusive reveals. So reveals we haven't seen before, and then pre-orders for stuff that maybe has been revealed, but now are going to go live for pre-order. So what are your guys' guesses as to which those... I believe pre-orders what might be also for another figure that I'm also going to tackle in this stream later on. So I'm kind of spoiling myself a little bit here, but maybe that Target Wildcat. What else could possibly be part of the pre-orders? As far as exclusive reveals, maybe that Power Go Collector's Edition wave might finally go live. Maybe the Batman Begins stuff that we've been... Basically, an awful lot of the stuff that has been mentioned in the leaks. And over here, I actually already have the product page kind of listed up here. Praying for a Jokerized glow-in-the-dark animated cyborg. Nelson Mandela, it's Morgan Freeman in the profile picture. This guy's stupid. Yeah, the first ever, and I think he's saying the same thing here in the description. The McFarlane Toy Store. Oh, okay. That's all it says. Okay. So, yeah, what do you guys... And it says episode 1. So their intention is to keep this thing going. So what do you guys believe it's going to be? And what do you think could be an exclusive? What are your guys' predictions of what could be the exclusive reveals? Or whatever. Because there's just so much to kind of theorize. But again, I think the go-aheads will probably be, like I said, some of the stuff that's been leaked thus far. Maybe the Batman Begins stuff finally. But also some of the stuff that was probably shown off at Comic-Con and at, what was it? New York Comic-Con. Like I said, the Power Girl Collector's Edition wave that comes with her and those two other figures. That name escapes me right now. The other statues, like the Thor statue, probably official pre-order launch of that. What else? Maybe, like I said, maybe the Batman Begins stuff, but I kind of doubt it. What else? Is it actually true that Hasbro will do a Marvel Legends figure on the black suit for Spider-Man 3? If so, I would be speechless and tempted to get that in person. There's rumors. I have seen the rumors that they're working on that behind the scenes. But you saw how cagey they are in that holiday stream alone. That I'm just like, you know what? Just wait until they actually say something. Because trying to theorize that, it's only gonna annoy Dan even more. Jesus. Hey, Maurice, welcome. Hey, I'll watch it. That's the thing. 2 p.m. Wednesday the 28th. I'm sorry, 28th, 18th, sorry. In exactly a week. Wednesday the 18th at 2 p.m. So, provided that nothing comes up and I'm still going live, we're going to be doing a reaction stream, y'all. I don't see why not. 2 p.m. is exactly when I go live anyways. Around that time, either on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, whichever one I feel most like it. So I guess in this occasion, I might just actually go live about 30 minutes earlier, just to kind of get people to come in here or get the stream going, get the momentum going. And so like a 1:30 Pacific, so that as soon as the show starts at 2, I can see that happening. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be checking it out. But as far as and the other wave that I was going to say is probably going to be revealed or officially revealed, and maybe even the pre-orders might go live for it. I can't remember what the wave is called. Actually, I just thought of another one. The animated series one with the build of Bruce Wayne. Maybe we'll finally get that one. And then the wave that comes with the classic Superman, the Silver Age Superman, the one with like the Max Fleischer kind of design to his suit. I want to say maybe that one. It might still be too early for Batman Begins, though, to be honest. If I am to be brutally honest, I want to say it might be too early for that still. I don't know. Okay. Am I still streaming? Yeah, I guess. Alright. Sorry, it's because it says right there, concurrent view of 0. I don't know if that was a glitch or something. Yeah, it just dropped. Is the stream still good? It says excellent condition. I don't see any drop frames. Okay. Getting a Fleischer Superman would be cool. Love the animation style. They pretty much replicated it in a slightly more modern way in Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, I remember Bruce Timm always saying that that was one of the inspirations, was that show. Let me see. Where was that post? I have to go back to their Twitter. I'm sorry, their X. Where are you? And before I tackle this, is anybody really, really checking out for this Kong versus Superman set? What the hell? Even when they revealed this in New York Comic Con, I'm like, and for $70, dude, I'm getting vibes from the Superman Doomsday 2-pack that I just recently covered that I did not think was worth $70. I'm getting the same vibe. I'm worried that this Kong is going to feel cheap just like that Doomsday. I really do. It's going to feel hollow, empty, articulation's going to be a bitch. And this is the Nightfall buck again. Why would I want another Nightfall Batman? Interesting head sculpt. But apart from that, I'm like, why? So yeah, the only thing kind of novel about this set is that they're tossing in, and I guess maybe you could say this is where the extra $10 comes from, is the added miniature 3.5-inch or 4-inch page puncher sized Nightfall Batman to then put him to scale with Kong. Cute. Still not enough for me to, go through with this. It's not. I'm sorry. So yeah, is anyone really checking out for that Kong versus Batman 2-pack? And still, why Kong? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna start the McFarlane criticism here. This feels like a little bit of a obligation. Oh, there was a little bit of buffering? Okay, that's probably why. I want to say that this feels like a little bit of an obligation from WB/Legendary to be like, hey, you guys can, do these licenses and do these things. But you, in return, can you, give us a freebie here in the form of this set with King Kong? Because I'm like, what is that? That set gets a nod dog from me. If the Kong had better articulation, it might have been worth considering. But like I said, I thought that the Doomsday was going to have good articulation, and it didn't. Let me pull up my stream over here on my phone to make sure it's good. I'm still a little nervous. Okay. Yeah, it shows up on my phone. All right. Yeah, now it's showing the 10. All right, cool. So, I can be critical of McFarlane as well. Despite the recent supercut video that I made with, taking shots at, Marvel Legends. But that's not to say that that instantly makes me defend McFarlane toys either, because even I'm looking at them a little funny, especially after them announcing, first teasing and now properly announcing, along with full pre-orders going live, for the Amazon exclusive Dark Knight Returns, what they're calling McFarlane cover recreations. I'm sorry, but who asked for this? Because I'm starting to get a little nervous that maybe McFarlane overstocked on this specific mold of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, and maybe overproduced, quite plain and simple, overproduced this figure, doesn't know exactly what to do with it, and thought, okay, well, what's a different, unique way that we can kind of like repackage this thing? Oh, I know, let's come up, and I don't know who came up with this idea. I don't know if maybe it's Todd, I don't know if it's someone on the board, on the design team, etc. But someone said, why don't we paint it so that it can replicate the look of the Dark Knight Returns cover, the iconic cover where he's in silhouette with the lightning striking. And that's pretty much what they opted to do by kind of replicating the cover, cutting him out of it, and putting him in front of it, striking the pose slightly because you can tell that he's doing a complete he's doing a much more flexible pose. Actually, you know what? We have to pull it up. We have to pull it up. Let's pull up that original cover. We have to. The dark. Here we go. Look at those legs and look at the arms. They're definitely a bit more crunched in. His torso is fully crunching in forwards like this. Spectacular SM, welcome to the stream. Look how much more flexible you can even tell that he is in the cover art. And then look how much the the figure itself is not doing that. And I know this firsthand because if you guys have seen my recent review of the new collector's edition version, that's the gray and blue with the alternate Bruce Wayne head, I tried to mimic this for one of the shots in the final B-roll that you see in the review, and even I couldn't do it. Even I couldn't do it. And it's almost like a bit of a self-report that this buck is not meant to do that cover art by them trying to do it on their own cover recreation. Like, has anybody in the comment section even said that? XN Order 2 ain't bad for $30. I mean, I guess that's kind of maybe the bright side is that it's not crazy price as far as the actual listing. It's going for like $30, which is like okay. But all they did was just take that original figure, made it dark so that it looks silhouetted, even though you can still make out the details. I don't know what's going on with that bat symbol because it looks a little stretched out. Like the bottom looks accurate, but then the top looks a little weird to how it looks like in the comic. And then you have this base, which looks kind of neat. It's utilizing the same metal rod. Actually, I think we have more images. There we go. So it's the same metal rod, and the metal rod disappeared for some reason. The metal rod kind of looks similar to that of what you see in like some of the statues that they've been doing, the Marvel statues. And I do like the base, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, kind of gives it like a little bit of a Hot Toys quality feel. But that doesn't stop from me being able to see that this is just that same Dark Knight Returns buck. The same sculpt, the same head, same accessories. I can see them right there. Except one of the hands is shaped like this. But you still got the rope, the card recreating the cover, which I guess I take it back. I thought they were able to kind of cut them out, but they didn't. The card and the base, all right, so that's still included. But man, oh man, like I said, it even looks like it's struggling within its box, which it's kind of a clean box. I do like the white background with the black lettering, gold label, and you can still pre-order. Last time I checked, you can still pre-order on Amazon. Let me check. Yep. $30, still available on Amazon. Doesn't release until March. But even knowing that, I'm like, who really truly wants this? Because even I'm passing on it. Even if there's only one sincere compliment I will give this. It's got the wired cape, which the new blue and gray Batman, the blue and gray Dark Knight Returns Collector's Edition Batman that comes with the lamp and the Bruce Wayne head couldn't do. So this is the one that you opt in for the wired cape, McFarlane? Why? Why couldn't you do it with the blue and gray? The blue and gray would have been awesome. I said it in the review. We've come far as what you've been doing with the wired capes. That collector's edition would have been perfect with the wired cape. So I can benefit more of these like poses, but at least I have a blue and gray with the Bruce Wayne sculpt, and one that I would say I probably prefer over the original 2021 release. But you still gave him that rubberized cape that's just stuck down, and I have to like flip up and kind of prop it up with something in order to give him like a flying pose like I'm trying to replicate here. Now you do the wired cape? But it's with this one? Yeah. In my opinion, this is kind of an L. My theory is that they've overproduced this buck in unpainted fashion, and now we're coming up with ways to maximize the profits, or at least trying to mitigate the cost of overproducing these bucks and maybe having too many on hand. Maybe not enough people bought the collector's edition blue and gray that recently came out, which I think is quite possible, since not too long ago I think it was on sale, or on maybe not clearance, but it was like on a Black Friday sale on Amazon and Best Buy for like $18, $19 or something like that, or like $22. So it was like almost $10 off the MSRP. So something tells me this is signifying that, and it makes me wonder what other figures that have resulted in being peg warmers are gonna get the cover recreation treatment. My guess is that I think we might get a Dark Knight's Death Metal cover recreation, so that he can use some of those Dark Knight's Death Metal that we had so many of in 2021, early 2022. That's my prediction. Either him, or what's another Batman that we saw way too much of? Hush Batman. Oh yeah. Hush Batman. Actually, hold on. Let me see. This one. Yep, the Jim Lee. Definitively the Jim... Well, either of the Jim Lees. This one? Or this one? The more iconic Standing on the Gargoyle one. This one right here? I don't know why I couldn't find a better resolution one. That's annoying. Can I not find it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I take it back. Not Dark Knight's Death Metal. They probably have a shit ton of Hush Bucks. I'm going to call it right now. Their next cover recreation, Hush Batman. Hush Batman. That's going to be it. Am I, hyped for it? Absolutely not. No. It really does reek of like, hey, I have too many. What else can I use it for? And they should just, frankly, melt it down and focus on probably something that would sell right now. Which, if I was in the room and be like, okay, well, what can we use this plastic allocation for? Maybe take those bucks, add a little bit more plastic, beef him up, like super beef him up. Give us that Absolute Batman. From Batman Absolute. The bodybuilder Batman. He's hot right now. Get on it. Strike while the iron is hot, McFarlane. Stop doing these recreations or whatever. Because like I said, to me, it just reeks of like, oh, I made too many of these. Let me just paint them and color them differently. Murk them up a little bit so that they can look like they do on the covers. And call it at that. There's $30. It's like, no. I haven't even gotten this. I don't even know if I would get it if it was on clearance, to be quite honest. So, yeah. I predict that the next one's going to be that Hush cover from Jim Lee, but I don't want it. If anything, I should say that the focus needs to be shifted to Absolute Batman, because that's probably one that I'm looking at and going, I would rather pick that up. Did you see the NECA Leatherhead? I think it could pass for Killer Croc. I have not. Not yet. That bug's a pretty chunky boy. Ali Hussein, welcome to stream. McFarlane is just throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. Ever so often it feels like that. So, for those who were getting mad at my Marvel Legends Supercut, I also criticize McFarlane too. Like I said, every so often it just feels like he really is just throwing shit at the wall. Yeah, like I said, polished tank. It feels like a self-report of them trying to do the pose, and even they can't do it. Like, guys, come on. The head is different. New scope with slung longer ears. It did look a little different. I feel like the mouth looked a little bit more pulled down. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of a change there, but it's still not enough. Especially, like I said, making it dark. And this is the version that comes with the wired. That's probably what pissed me off the most. Is that this is the version that comes with the wired cape. But it's with the blackened version. I'm sure Todd will milk that wired cape version with some more Darren Returns Batmans. We might get the yellow over version after this one, and black or blue or both. Yeah. Another repaint. A chase. Might be tempted by a Hush cover. It comes with the gargoyle and some extras. If it comes with the gargoyle, it's probably going to be the gargoyle that came with the Night People Batman. If they retool that. Before we tackle the next topic, though, guys, gotta use the potty. I don't have like a be right back screen, so just hang tight. But we just have a couple more topics to tackle after this. Did I save? Damn it, I don't think I did. Hold on, guys. Let me at least bring this up so that... Oh, here we go. Okay, that'll make it easy. Okay. Alright, let me use the restroom real fast, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, back. Whew. That took a little longer. All right. All right, yeah. And also, I just noticed what time it is, so we do have to kind of barrel through these, but I can't imagine them taking too long because the next topic was really just going to be those cowls. This was actually the topic that I saw that I thought, okay, that looks kind of interesting, but by itself, it didn't really warrant a whole show, so I was kind of banking topics and waiting for things to kind of unravel and happen. But it was going to be these 1/3 scale cowls that are set to be going up for pre-order, and to be honest, they're probably going to be tackling this during the show, during the first ever McFarlane Toys show, this Christmas special type showcase thing on December 18th. And something tells me that this is also probably going to be talked about. It's probably going to go up for pre-order that morning, but then at the show at 2 p.m., they're probably going to be like, all right, here's these cowls that went up for pre-order this morning, and maybe they'll piggyback on it with like a 1-to-1 cowl, because I know they like to do 1/3 and then 1/1, which is like life size. And the reason for why I find these cowls kind of interesting, or at least this specific 3 that are set to come out on December 18th, is because I believe they kind of give a little bit of credence to some potential leaks from a while back. Among them is the Batman Begins cowl from the 2005 movie. So even though it's got the labeling of the Dark Knight trilogy there in the corner, you'll notice that this is the Batman Begins cowl. But this is in 1/3 scale, so they're only going to be about this big. They're meant to be for like mantelpieces or whatever, like this big. So there's this one. It does look pretty decently sculpted. Then, along with that one, it's going to be the Batman Hush, which is like this blue, very straightforward, Jim Lee-inspired kind of angular look to the cowl, to the brow, as well as the pointy ears. But this specific kind of lightish blue. And then the first appearance, Detective Comics number 27, with like the super smiley kind of mouth opening, the squinted eyes, and then, of course, the protruding ears right here, which, like I said, has a really great sculpt from 1939, but these are all 1/3 scale, so they're going to be like the smaller ones. But by themselves, they're interesting cowls. To me, however, like I said, what I find most interesting is that if I'm not mistaken, there was, let me see if I can dig it up. I think it was like an Instagram conversation. McFarlane Toys leaks. Let me see, this was like 6 months ago. There was a post. Let me see if I could go to Google Images. Because it wasn't the document that I was looking at last time. It wasn't that one. It was like a Instagram conversation or like a Threads conversation. And in them, I think they were mentioning the 1/3 cowls that I just looked at. Like they were showing, they were listed in that leak. And that's why I'm like, yo, does this mean that there's an awful lot of the stuff coming out of the pipeline from those leaks that are a bit more legitimate? And do you think that on the show for next week, the McFarlane Toys show, ooh, is it this one? No, I don't believe so. I think I'm looking at something different. Because I could have sworn there was like an Instagram conversation or something that had those cowls in there. Oh my god, yes, I think I found it. Yo, I think I found it. Yeah, this is from a while back. How far back is this? From July. Okay. Little bit of a discrepancy there. July, so 5 months. So if the recent, yeah, because look, this is from July. And amongst this leak was the Batmobile, the Kong 2-pack, the Thomas Wayne 2-pack. And there's the 1/3. All right, so let me switch screens real quick. Yeah, they were part of a leak. That's what these cowls did for me, is that they jump-started my memory and made me go, oh wait, yeah, there was a leak. And among them are the Shazams, the 1/3 scale right here. So it makes me wonder just how much of that, and there's the Superman 78. So it makes me wonder of that other document that I covered not too long ago, where we were tackling like some of the Batman Begins stuff and speculated as to whether or not the Demon Batman could be in there. How much of that is legitimate? How much of that can we really rely on? And how much of that will be shown at the McFarlane toy show, December 18th? Which I know that mentioning that kind of dates this topic, but still it's something to kind of be interesting to talk about. What do you guys think? That's why I felt like these last couple of topics are not going to be all that crazy. I gotta start getting ready because I got some things. Basically, I have to go to storage and put away some figures. I need to pull out the original Lee Vermejo Batman and the Batman Beyond Batman for those comparison videos I'm going to be making this weekend. And then after that, I have to go to the UPS store and drop some stuff off. And then probably by the time I'm done with these two things, it's going to be time to pick up my girlfriend. And then from there, we might have to go to the store because I think I might need some groceries. Yeah. And then what was the next topic? The very last topic? Okay. Also, another potential candidate for one of the pre-orders that might go live next week during that show is Wildcat. And initially I didn't really want to talk about this guy, if anything, very briefly, because the only thing that kind of made me interested, because I kind of faintly have heard of the character of Wildcat before, but, you know, at this point, I'm kind of starting to get Catman and Wildcat confused, just slightly. I know they're different characters, but every so often I'm just like, okay, which one's the... Okay, right. You know, which one's the one that looks kind of hokey? It's Catman, and the one that looks a little bit more Black Panther-y would probably be Wildcat here. So he got an official reveal for the JSA Wildcat 7-inch gold label that's going to be a Target exclusive, so not available anywhere else except Target. And more details coming soon. So I'm wondering just how long it's going to take for these details to come out. Like I said, my prediction is probably going to be during that show next week. Only at Target, so we'll see how that goes, because I've been recently getting a little apprehensive about Target, because recently they've been like canceling a lot of orders. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But what I find kind of interesting is that I really do like the blue, because for a while it kind of looked like the blue. I'm going to need to see some more pictures. But the blue that's being utilized here on Wildcat looks kind of interesting, like around the torso, shoulder, and chest area. It looks like it's gotten kind of like a little bit of a marble sort of aesthetic to it. And if they can really hone in on those paint applications, this actually might be a legitimately good Target exclusive. But I'm going to have to see more of those like stock photos, those official like product page photos when the pre-orders go live, potentially next week. And if it just looks like they're doing like because right now at the angle that it's at, this marbleized kind of look to the paint could also just be airbrushed to very similar, not unlike how they do with the pixelization on the whatchamacallit, the Task Force wave they did recently, where they added the pixel effect. This might not be that different from that, but I'm pulling that they're doing something a little bit more creative and different with like a marble kind of approach or look to the blue that he's got going on right here in the torso. Apart from that, though, I don't really know too much about the Wildcat character, so if anything, maybe this might not be a pre-order for me, but more so like a If I see it in the store and he's compelling enough in person, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. So what do you guys think about Wildcat? What do you guys think about the Cowls and what they're doing for the upcoming pre-orders thus far? It looks kind of wonky to me. Maybe it might change my mind if they have some other shots. Yeah, we need to see more shots. Because I'm interested to see what kind of, like, technique they're having with that paint application. But at the same time, I need more of those, like, on the white background shots where he's just static like this. That way I can take a closer look. Because if it just looks like that airbrush technique they did with the pixel effect on the Task Force wave, then I'm like, alright, then. Definitely not going to pre-order him. But maybe when I see him at a Target, I'll be like, oh, that looks better in person. Maybe. But as of right now, I just have already, at the same time, even if it comes very soon to Targets, I already have so much that I need to review that, or edit. Like, I've already shot, but it's so deep in the can, in the hopper, as the Marvel Legends guys say, that I need to get it done. I need to start working on it. So, for example, what I just unboxed recently, the Silver Age Batman, the Noel Batman, the Neo-Gothic Beyond Batman. So we got those three. Yesterday, I shot a review / comparison of the new Zack Snyder's Justice League Batman from Mafex, but this is the 2.0. And I compared it to the 1.0, and the video is almost an hour long. Well, an hour long, like, uncut. Because I haven't edited it yet. Like, I just shot it and dumped it. That's all I did. So once I cut out, like, the major gaps, it's probably going to come closer to, like, 30, 40 minutes. But still, it's a chunky boy. And then on top of that, also sitting in the can is my review, unedited, completely unedited, simply just dumped, in the can review of the Amazing Yamaguchi Arkham Knight Batman. I shot that. I'm in the process of almost getting done. It's going to go up tomorrow. My review of the gold label Amazon exclusive Nightwing Talon and Owl 3-pack. That's going to be going up tomorrow. I'm working on a very special video that's going to go up on Sunday. That is kind of sort of my celebration of 20,000 subscribers going up on Sunday. But it is a little different than what you usually expect on the channel, which is kind of has become a recent trend with, like, the YouTube poop Marvel Legends video. But now I have another video on Sunday that's completely on the opposite side of the spectrum that might be a little bit different, and I don't know how it's going to do on the channel, but we shall see. And then what other reviews need to be done? Then I have the Hot Toys Black Suit Spidey over here from Spider-Man 2, the game. What else was coming? What else is in the can? Another Spin Master Amazon exclusive is in the can. Needs to be edited. What else? Yeah, so a handful of stuff that even makes me want to go, like, okay, yeah, even if McFarlane starts shipping out, like I said, the Christopher Reeve Superman or the Thomas Wayne 2-pack, I'm like, some of that stuff you might, some of those reviews, there might be like one or two you might not see until, like, the first week of January, if I'm going to be completely honest. So we shall see. But if anything, that's probably a good cue for me to go ahead and just bounce right out of here already. Plus, we had a pretty solid, decent show, hour and 45 minutes or so. So, and plus, like I said, it's already 3:51. I was supposed to be out of here by like 3:30, so I can start getting ready, head out, take care of these errands, pick up my girlfriend who gets off at like 5:15, maybe 5:20 if we push it, and then possibly go to the store. Possibly. So we shall see about that. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Maurice Phillip, Polish Tank, Spectacular SM, Ali Hussein, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Ghouls and Goblins. Sorry, my bad. Daniel Montero. Who else was here? Geek Fusion TV, ranting about McFarlane, just like I was ranting about Marvel Legends, but I appreciate it. Nate's Likes Comics, Pugman, of course, as always. Rishav27. Who else was here? That guy 3245 at the beginning. And everybody else who tuned into the stream and was lurking, just like Brian's new dishwasher, who's just barely commenting, but I appreciate you nonetheless. What state are you living in? Cali. Good old overpriced, oversaturated, overpopulated, can't burn soon enough, California. Trust me, ever so often I think to myself, Seattle looks kind of nice. Just saying. Seattle looks kind of nice. Almost every time of the year, from my perspective. And Jason's Electric. Thank you for tuning in. So the rest of you, have a great rest of your day. Like I said, look out for a new video tomorrow. Because the video is pretty much done. It just needs those little bits of music at the end and at the beginning. And that's it. Render, upload, there it is. So that for sure is probably going to go up tomorrow. Very likely will go up tomorrow. As for the next video after that, Sunday, maybe I'll take the cover recreation topic and splice it out as its own video, and that might go up either Friday or Saturday. But then Sunday is that special video I'm working on, and then we'll tackle the following week as it comes along. Because, like I said, I have so much in the can, along with this new wave that just dropped. That finally arrived. I'm like, well, I'm tackling that. Thankfully, they're going to be short reviews, but they're just very numeric. Moved to Seattle. I live in Vancouver, Washington. Anyways, cheers. Can't wait for the next stream. No problem. Like I said, as long as nothing comes up, nothing gets in the way, and we're all good to go, my intention is to stream the McFarlane Toys Show next week. So Wednesday. The show's at 2 p.m., so I'm probably going to go live at least 30 minutes before, around 1:30. That's what I'm aiming for. And I'll definitely keep you guys posted if anything comes up that doesn't allow me to do it, or postpones it, or just kind of intervenes scheduling-wise. But right now, my plan is to go live Wednesday next week at 1:30 so that we can all watch and react to the McFarlane Toys show. The first ever McFarlane Toys show, and see how exactly that goes down. But there's the cue of my voice going, so I'll go ahead and drop on out of here. And as always, guys, stay humble. I'll see you on the next one.